Ladies and gentlemen, with the zero in attendance and the hopefully thousands watching around the world, welcome to Kawaja's official YouTube channel. My name is Kawaja. I am an actor primarily in the DMV area, also known as the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, but I also have a second base in New York City. So basically, I'm an actor up and down the East Coast. Now, I have had this YouTube channel since 2006. I don't remember why I had signed up initially. Maybe it was to create some playlists and things like that, or maybe to be able to broadcast it, stream it onto a television. I don't remember what it was. And initially, I just kind of used it for unlisted or private audition videos that I could send to casting directors or whoever requested it, or I would use it for acting reels, a dramatic reel, a comedic reel, and so on and so on. But the reason why I'm doing this video is because I would like to get onto the YouTube bandwagon, kind of. There's a lot of down period in this industry, and I was like, why not make it useful? So I was thinking, maybe I can give some tips and tricks and advice in the acting industry, showing people where I've come from, how far I've gone. I can do some very light vlogging. I can do some reviews on products, honest reviews for products that I use as an actor or me as a, just in my personal day-to-day routines and so on and so on. So if I find that something is beneficial to you, I can review it. And this allows me, to constantly be in front of the camera and not get so rusty. But that's, for the future of the channel. For right now, I wanted to establish a connection with the audience. And if this sounds interesting to you, please like, subscribe, comment, and I think those are the three things that YouTubers usually mention. Seriously, because it'll really motivate me for the future to go out there, get out of my shell, not be so shy and so on. I know, and as an actor, as a voiceover guy, why are you so shy? Well, I think Johnny Depp is kind of shy as well. But it'll just kind of push me to make more and more content, and you can grow with me. So I would really appreciate that. So please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. So, my journey as an actor. I've got some notes over here, and they're not the greatest notes in the world. I'm not really much of a note taker. I'm not much of a live presenter, host. I do teleprompter stuff, but I'm not a vlogger. I'm nothing. I'm always a student of my craft, and I'm learning as I go. So, I have already established some of the foundation of the channel and, who I am. How did I start into acting? How did I get into acting? The other thing is that a lot of my videos, I believe, are going to be either minimally edited or not edited at all. So I'm probably going to be making a lot of mistakes, losing my train of thought, and so on and so on. So please bear with me, because in this day and age of everybody being so overly polished and these amazing lights and blah, 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 and jump cutting and so on, you kind of lose that connection. So this is perfect for, I think, for someone that really wants to know about this topic, someone that wants to discover a new YouTube channel, someone that wants to listen to this as they're winding down their day. Maybe they're about to go to sleep. Maybe they're in the car, on a bus, not driving. Well, you could drive with the Bluetooth on. Maybe on the bus, maybe on the train, maybe on the plane, maybe on a bicycle. Who knows? You just want to hear a story, a good story. I would hope that this would be a good story, but you be the judge. So I started acting in the year 2000. It was very, very random. It actually started with my second year of high school, my sophomore year, my 10th grade year. Basically what had happened was, long story short, for my 8th grade in middle school, all of my classes were already chosen for me. 8th grade? No. Sorry, I don't think it was the 8th grade. I think the 9th grade, just the ninth grade. All of my classes were chosen for me in the 9th grade because I believe I had taken a vacation with my family out of the country when I was in the 8th grade. And I wasn't there when like the counselors and stuff from the high schools were over helping the kids pick out their classes and so on for their freshman year. So all of my classes were already automatically chosen for me. I missed an opportunity, but that's no problem. I actually ended up getting kicked out of, or I gave up ROTC, and I ended up being a teacher assistant or something for like community service hours for my health education teacher's class for his other class. Um, and I did that because the ROTC class, I had some long hair, and I remember walking into ROTC and I saw all these planes and jets and so on. I don't know what the heck this class was about, but they were forcing me to cut my hair, and I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna cut my hair. My hair was like down to here, so I was a huge professional wrestling fan. I just kind of followed what the wrestlers were doing. The funny thing is that, shortly after, I actually ended up cutting my hair on my own just because, I don't know, I got sick and tired of it. I just always felt that gel and that stickiness and so on. I just couldn't handle it anymore. But anyways, so me and my family, we were going to move locations and move to a different area within the same county, though. And their period schedule was a little bit different, and as opposed to like, the other school was like 8 classes a day. This one was like 4 per semester. So something to do with that. Again, all of my classes were chosen for my second year, my sophomore year, at a different high school. So I remember a couple of weeks before high school, I told my dad I would like to go to the high school and be able to, at this new high school, and be able to change some classes around so I can take some classes that interest me. And he was like, what the hell do you want to take? I said, I don't know. I said, I just want to, take a look at the list. Because in my mind, I was like, man, school kind of sucks. I can't wait to get out of here. Maybe college will be fun and so on and so on. But I was like, let me not waste all of my years of high school, all these years. And anyway, so he took me to the counselor's office, and the counselor was like, what do you want to take? And I think it's like when you change those electives out or whatever. Electives, is that what they call them? I don't know. It's been so long. Whatever. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. And so I said, look, I don't know what I want to take, show me the list. So she gave me the list, and I was scanning it. I didn't have to scan it that much, but eventually my eyes landed on 2 things that stood out to me was drama and TV productions. It was so freaking random, because one thing that has always kind of interested me was the stage. Not that I wanted to be on the stage, but it was just, magic shows, rock stars on stage, or the squared circle, the World Wrestling Federation at the time, or my favorite, World Championship Wrestling. Oh yeah, baby. WCW, Monday Nitro. That was my favorite. But I respected the stage. I respected the spotlights, and to be able to perform in front of a live audience, it was like, wow, what is that like? So I said, man, I want to take this, because in my mind, I was also thinking, if I take drama and TV productions, does this mean that I get to become an actor? What does this mean? So I said, hey, I want to take drama and TV productions. And my dad gave me the most disgusted look ever. And he was like, what? You want to become an actor now? And I was so scared, man. My heart started beating really, really fast. And I was like, no. I just want to take it for fun. I'm in high school. I want to try out some different things. Not that I want to become an actor. I just want to try it for fun. Chill, Dad. And the rest was history, man. I mean, I could stop right there, but you guys probably want to know a little bit more. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot of things that I never knew about. I remember, the term proscenium stage in drama. And, we practiced acting a little bit, but it was kind of cool because for drama, I learned stage acting primarily. And for TV productions, we didn't really learn acting like that, but we learned about behind the scenes. So I think this was a good foundation for someone, entering acting. And as a result of this, I was also able to be a part of 2 high school stage productions. I was in Greece as DJ Vince Fontaine. Hey, get back on the rebound here for our second half. Dance the Rubber contest coming up in a half hour when maybe I'll call you. Hey, I think you'll like this little native from the city. A new one discovered by Alan Freed. So turn up the sound and stomp on the ground. Oh, yeah. I still remember a lot of it. And there's some stories of why I remember that. And then I also played, who the heck was it? I was in, oh man, my memory is starting to get shot up as the years go by. I was in To Kill a Mockingbird. I played Mr. Gilmer, which was the prosecutor, I believe. Yeah, so I was never really into this kind of stuff, theatrics and theater and so on and so on. But I got addicted, man. It was such a high, that applause, the lights, the music, the people, just the stage butterflies and your heart just, it was crazy. It was wild. So I did kind of goof around in class a little bit, because I kind of, the way that I grew up was a little interesting. I kind of grew up in originally before that new high school where I was living at was, I wouldn't say that it was like the complete ghetto, but it was, kind of a rough area though. I spoke a certain way. My thought process was a certain way. I thought the metal music, rock music was stupid. But the band that actually got me into rock music was POD, because they were like so street. I heard they're on MTV. Remember that when they played music? On MTV, I saw a music video of the song called Alive by POD, which stands for Payable on Death, I believe, the band's name. And these guys were like really street, man. They had like dreads and, just the way that they were drumming and guitaring and stuff. And I was like, man, this is cool. Later on, I got into Papa Roach and Linkin Park and so on and so on. And now, I love everything from screaming, new metal type music to jazz and classical and so on and so on. So that is how I got into acting. And then I did take theater, in community college. My original plan was to, at least get like a 4-year, if not 6-year degree through college. But I was dealing with a lot of issues, man. I dropped in and out of college numerous times, to be honest. I was having a lot of fatigue. And it wasn't until one of my psychology teacher had mentioned something to me, because she was like, why don't you do your homework? Why are you sleeping in my class all the time? And I had like a real heart to heart type of conversation with her. And she mentioned something about narcolepsy and chronic fatigue and so on and so on. So when I was really, really little, what happened one time was I had fell down the steps. I think this is what I was told. I think I was told that I wasn't supposed to survive, but I was like a miracle baby and I actually ended up surviving. I don't know, maybe it was like a year old. Maybe I was like 10, 11 months. I don't know how old I was. But, my primary care physician has said that, that maybe it has something to do with, maybe I had some kind of injury or something, some head injury. But that's an ongoing process. I'm still trying to figure out to this day, like what's going on. But just concentration and focus, everything was like super duper bad. A lot of insomnia, a lot of brain fog, mental fatigue, no motivation, no nothing, So life has been very, very difficult in that regards, in those regards. But yeah, I took introduction to theater. I took some kind of shop class. I took like maybe 1 or 2 acting classes as well. I was trying to get a degree in theater. And I dropped in and out. And then there were times that I was going to school I went back to take my prerequisites to become a dental hygienist. So I tried that route as well. Yeah, so that was let's just say that was part 1 of my journey as an actor, specifically as a DMV actor, how I started, how I got into it. And let's just say I didn't finish college. And then after that, what happened? Well, there's a lot that happened before that as well. But how about this, because I feel like this video might be getting too long. I want to see how this video does. I want to see what kind of likes it gets, what kind of feedback people are giving to it. If people actually subscribe, if you motivate me, if you make me feel good, you make me feel like I made success. I've had success with this video. Then I'll think about doing a part 2. If you're from the DMV, please don't hesitate to give me a shout out. Maybe I've worked with some of you in the past, but hey, thanks a lot for watching. In the future, I would like to do more videos like this. I would like to review products and so on and so on. So please help by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Your help would be very, very much appreciated. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for stopping by my channel, for giving me a chance. And stay tuned, because I think the future is going to hold some amazing things. Thank you.